I designed this crescent moon coaster set and decided to share it on MakerWorld. But figuring out how to upload, name files, and add variations is a little harder than I thought. Let me show you how I did it. Hey, I'm Megan. I'm learning 3D printing one layer at a time. Mistakes, mess ups, and moments of magic included. In this video, I'll show you how I upload one of my designs to MakerWorld, add photos, include a print profile, and set up variations for things like color combos. Let's head to MakerWorld. Here is my profile on MakerWorld. To start, we are going to hit upload in this top corner here. I do have some other designs that I've uploaded. I am just starting out, so I do have a smaller following, but I am starting to get some traction on some of my designs. So we're going to hit upload. We're going to do 3D original model. Do you have a Bambu Studio file? Yes, I do. Okay, so here's where you're going to have some things already ready to put into MakerWorld. So I make sure that I have all of my 3MF files available in a folder for the project. So in this case, I have a folder in my Google Drive called Coasters and then Crescent Moon Blossom. So in this folder, I have all of my Bambu 3MF files for the print profiles that I'm going to upload, as well as all the photos that I have edited using Canva to make them a little brighter and make them more presentable on MakerWorld. Something else that I do is I go ahead and get my name and my description kind of set up before I go into upload so that it's just ready for me when I get there. So for this first one, I think that I'm going to do my holder as the main profile. And then my model is not part of this cyber brick, so I'm going to keep no. And then I'm going to hit next. This is where you're going to put in your photos. So this one is going to be the web and app cover. And I think in this instance, again, I'm going to use that main, here's one of my main pictures. So this really shows the coasters and the holder, which I think is a pretty good image. You want to make sure that your image is kind of free of clutter. Bambu gives some tips when you submit or before when you hover over it, it will tell you, make sure you're using real print photos that you actually printed. And then for the next one, I'm going to do a different picture. And this one, I think is just a little bit closer up. Maybe I'm not going to use this one. Let's do this one. Shows the actual holder. So I think that one's pretty good. You can use, maybe I don't like that one. You want to do two separate ones. I thought I did one that wasn't quite as close up. We can do this one though. That one really shows the layers of it, I think, so. And then in this area down here is where you would upload more photos. So I'm going to do this one again. The moon coaster holder number 2. And then I also have a top-down image and a side image showing the petal cutout. So you can see Bambu kind of gives the example there is you want a clean background versus a complex background. It just makes it easier to see. So for this one, it's going to ask you for your model name. So I'm going to do Crescent Moon. And again, this is where I already have this information. So I'm just going to copy and paste. It just helps me feel more organized. So we're going to look up coaster, home decor maybe. Okay. Let's look and see what they have. Office, we could do, decor, household decor. Okay. For tags, this is kind of a fun one. So when you do your tags, let's just do coaster to start. I'm going to actually copy coaster because I can use any of these again. So I can hit coaster, I can hit paste again, and I can do, mine is 110 millimeters, so I don't want to do that. But if there were other variations in here, maybe I would include those. Like if there was a 2025, let me see what else I have. I have moon decor. There's a few there. So you can really add as many tags as you want. So maybe no AMS is one. So that's a pretty good one. So we're gonna we're gonna copy that one, and then we'll do no AMS. We'll do no AMS. So that way it's gonna get picked up by anybody typing in like no AMS, regardless of how they type it in. And so you'll add as many tags as you'd like. Some other ones might be like a drink coaster. So that's one. So I'll copy and paste that one a couple of times because I did see container and I saw holder. What was that last one? Perfect. And then let's see, we might do home decor. So again, the tags are really is what's going to bring people to your print, because they're going to be looking up like, oh, I'm looking for this, or I'm looking for some home decor, or I'm looking for a coaster, and then your print profile then might populate for them. Okay, so ours is not for adults only. I don't want any adaptations to be shared or allow commercial use of my work right now. I'm really still learning, so I'm not ready to like share that with people. But whatever license or adaptations you want to do is for there. In the description, I'm going to include like what I have, what I made. So mine just kind of shares a little bit about two tones. And then I'm going to also include a boost me. And in this, I'm going to say like, why boost this model? And I'm going to give it its own sort of blurb. So it's like to help our makers discover this, you know, boost me, no AMS required. So here you'll put in information that's relevant to yours, like why boost you? Why boost this particular model for you? So I'm going to include that there, and that was right here. So boost me, and then I'm going to hit enter with this little button here. And then I'm going to include the print details for this model. And I've decided to include all of them. So here are the different variations of my coaster. If you need supports, so this is kind of the way that I set this up. I do print details, nozzle, layer height, if you need supports, if it needs a brim, if it's multicolor or AMS is needed, which in this one it's not. It's a 2-color, so it's a pause and a filament swap. All right, and then the last thing that I put in my description is I let people know that I'm on other platforms. So I say, join the chaos, and here are my my URLs to those places. You can include a community post if you'd like, and what this does is it will send your print profile that you're uploading directly to the community. Sometimes I do this, and when I do, I just make sure that everybody knows kind of what it is. I don't get a ton of traffic that I've seen off of this, but it's worth it, I think, to keep posting in case you are seen there, and it draws people to your profile. So here is the initial design of that, and then I'm going to click Add Print Profile. So this first one is the holder, and what you'll need to do is actually publish this. So we're going to publish the moon coaster holder, and then we're going to go back in and add print profiles once it's published. So let's hit publish. So right now, Bambu or MakerWorld is verifying my post. And it's usually pretty quick that they verify and publish. So once this is done verifying, I'll come back and we will add those other print profiles. All right, so now that is a published profile model on my MakerWorld. So we're going to actually go into that published model, and I'm going to show you how to add print profiles or variations. Because right now the only print that people have available to them is that holder. So we want to make sure that they also have access to the coasters. So you're going to go to this 3 dots right here at the top of the screen next to household decor and add print profile. This is also where if you notice a mistake in your description or in anything on your print profile, that you can also edit the profile here as well. So we're going to add print profile. This is the same as we did before. So we're going to drag our 3MF file there. And in this case, we're going to start with the Crescent Moon Blossom Gold. And then we need to add at least 1 photo. I do have 2 photos for each of my color variations. So I'm just going to copy and paste those in here. And you can add a print profile description here. You don't have to. So because I added all of the details in my original post for the holder, like my colors and my print details and things like that, I'm not going to add any additional details, but that is totally up to you. And if you, in some instances where my keychains, I printed them upside down for a smooth finish on the top, this is where I would say, like, make sure you to put, flip that over so that it has that smooth finish if you want. So that would just be, this print profile description is just somewhere that you might put some additional information. So easy peasy, everything else is good. We could even name this print profile like gold and black. And then it has the same sort of information as before. And then publish. And then we're going to go back into our published models again and hit add print profile. And again, we're going to do the same thing. So this time we're going to do our green, and we can call this one green and black. And then we're going to add those 2 photos. So kind of repetitive once you know how to do it. Just making sure that you have the correct Bambu 3MF and you have photos. Once you have all those things already set up, it kind of is a quick process. So we're going to publish again. And we do have 2 more variations to post underneath this so that people, and our gold and black design has already been approved, which is awesome. So we're going to add a print profile again. You could potentially just have these all in 5 plates. I chose to do them separately so that it just felt like an easier process. So again, I just dragged that maroon red. We're going to call this maroon red and black. Oops. And then we'll add those 2 pictures, green, red. Beautiful. Again, I've red. If you haven't read the print profile guidelines, make sure you do that before you just click this. Because I've uploaded a few times, I did read them initially. And then we'll hit publish. And we'll do it one more time. And green has been uploaded. And we'll go print profile. All right, and we're going to add that last one. We have the purple, so I'm going to name it again. Oops. Purple and black. Oh geez, I can't spell here. Okay. And then a couple of photos. And then I've read and publish. Okay, so now we should be able to go into our published model and we will have, well, once our purple uploads, then we will have 5 print profiles underneath this design, and you can now see this is our coaster holder, and these are the different print profiles that are available to choose from. So that's how I upload to MakerWorld and make sure that people can print my designs the way I intended. If you're just getting started like me, I hope this helps take some of the guesswork out. Next, I'm designing my next set of coasters with a totally different vibe, so subscribe if you want to see how that goes, how many times I have to reprint it, and I'm going to do a tutorial on how to create these coasters and the holders using Tinkercad. Thanks so much, and I hope you enjoyed it.